Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, call the meeting to order, 7:00. And, flights. Scott, could you do this, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, agenda review. No changes, okay. Special presentations, superintendent's report.
Yeah, I don't have a video presentation tonight, board, but I did want to take the opportunity just to say a couple of words. One of the things I was reminded about today a few different times was just how incredibly fortunate I am to be here and work with such an amazing group of leaders. We spent a good part of the day together, and I don't get to say it enough, but I wanted to say publicly how proud I am of the people that lead our schools and how honored I am to be able to work with them. And I feel very fortunate to be here, and I'm very happy to start another year with them and thrilled with the energy and effort that they're putting in getting started. We always have obstacles to get started, but between them, between our wonderful cabinet, I think they're just really doing an outstanding job, and I wanted to make sure that you knew how hard they were working and how lucky we are to have such a great group. And then I also wanted to take a chance just to start the year and thank you. It goes unsaid a lot, but you are a very caring board. You come here often and make decisions that aren't always popular, but I know from talking with you and working with you all that you make decisions that are in the best interest of students and the best interest of the community. And I also feel very fortunate to work with all of you. So I just wanted to start the year with gratitude and appreciate everybody here for the kind of work environment that they create for me. And I'm happy to be with everybody here in this community. So thank you.
I think the board echoes your sentiments as far as you guys. We're very proud of you guys too. I think we all know that you do a phenomenal job. So let's start the year off right and keep everything on the same level.
100%. If I can add one thing too, I think we are blessed to have a wonderful superintendent.
Yes.
Here. So thank you, Nicole.
Okay, public comments. At this time, the public is permitted to address the school board on items that are on the consent calendar, request for future items that are not on the agenda.
Move that we open public comment. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There's no public comments.
Move that we close public comment. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'm gonna do Geddes and do that on that one.
Gotcha.
All right. I'll share.
All right, consent items 8.0 to 8.13.
Can I just make one statement here? One of the resignations you'll see is for Casey LaFleur, principal of Pioneer Elementary, and I just want to acknowledge that Casey was a very hardworking, dedicated principal for us for 7 years, and he accepted a job in a neighboring district. And we're disappointed to lose him. I want to thank him for his service here, and I want to wish him well in his new school year as he goes forward.
I move that we approve the consent items 8.0 through 8.13.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
One other thing that I wanted to do at that point is in there, sorry to lose it. We had a personnel report where we approved a new vice principal that is here. And I wanted to see if Julie Croy wanted to introduce her.
Dawn Pavon from, she will be at Loma Vista, and we're very excited to have her join the team. She's been working in Livermore, she lives here in the community, and we're just really excited to have her, so.
Dawn, did you want to say anything?
Excited to be here.
All right, good answer. All right, we're excited to have you, Dawn.
Welcome. Right, 9 hearings and appeals? None? Okay. Presentations, reports and other action items, 10.0, report out of closed session. Nothing. 10.1, budget update.
Good evening, Board. I have a brief July budget update. There's nothing particularly new to report, but just to kind of recap where we are. On July 2nd, Governor Newsom signed the final bills that comprise the 24-25 state budget. There were no surprises or changes that came about. It was everything that we expected to see, and that was based on really the main revision and what the legislature was talking about. So the enacted state budget, as we had already in our adopted budget, it provides a statutory COLA for the LCFF funding of 1.07%. The addition includes proposed ongoing funding, which they also have to add in the language, is that special education will get the COLA, child nutrition, mandate, block grants, and some others, and that's just part of the process, the way they do that. There's no new one-time funds coming this year. We didn't expect any, but just kind of highlight that. So as you saw when we went to the adopted budget in June, the district is not receiving enough revenue to cover all our expenses in this 24-25 year. At the adopted budget, our ending fund balance reserve was 4.38%. That's what we approved. But this does not include any salary increases that are being negotiated right now for the 23-24 fiscal year. Looking at the board adoption as well, just a reminder that in the multi-year projection that in 25-26, which is already the next fiscal year, the budget includes the reduction of our intervention teachers that are funded by one-time funds, and a half point F5 FTE, so half a counselor instead of a full-time at the elementary schools, there will be a half-time. And at the middle schools, instead of 2 counselors, there would be 1.5 FTE. And this is something we've talked about, but just want to continue to, unfortunately, share.
Yeah, just in addition to that, one of the things, as we come, we're probably going to need to spend more time than usual on the budget this year as we move forward at these meetings. And we'll be coming back to talking about what our budget cut process is going to look like as we go forward. Because on top of those things that we've already discussed, unfortunately, unless the budget changes dramatically, we'll be coming to you with some recommendations for a process, and then coming back with some actual budget cuts that will need to go forward for us to maintain solvency going forward.
So, sort of what does this mean, which we talked about in June, but just to remind the board and ourselves that we will continue to watch enrollment in ADA. The way to get new revenue would be if our average daily attendance goes up. We're going to monitor costs closely, not only what the superintendent talked about planning for the next year in reductions, but really any new increases for this year will need to be offset by reductions in this year, which is something different for the district. And as we know, the state budget was adopted, but it does have deficits projected in this year, 24-25, 25-26, and 26-27, which then trickles down into K-12 education funding. So that's our update, unless there's any questions, or if Dina has additional.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
President Dowdens, can we take a break just for a second? First of all, hi, Lauren.
Hi.
You can go over and sit over there if you want, so you're not all the way over there. We have another new vice principal that's joined us, and I wanted to give Danielle that opportunity to introduce her real quick.
Good evening. This is Laura Brown. She is joining us from
Oakland Union School District, where she was a teacher and a TSA, and she is the new VP for Montanias Elementary School.
We're glad to hear both Dawn and Lauren. Thanks for coming.
Okay. Next, we have 10.2 enrollment update.
All right, good evening, board. Thank you so much for being some share about our enrollment, just really quick. But I did want to have that what's in front of you, and I also have some slides to just briefly discuss. So our enrollment so far, we have, I just want to do a little history. 2 years ago, I'll talk about it. There you go. They're very close. Okay. So 2 years ago, over the school year, we gained 523 students, and last year we gained 388 students. Just a little, historical information, just to think about where we were and where we are. So we ended last year with over 10,000 students, as we all know, because we're very proud of that when we gained our 10,000 student at Adams Middle School, we did a great deal of that. So currently, right now, we have 9,975 kids. So we're a little bit below that 10,000 mark. We were a little bit concerned or thoughtful about our 8th grade class that was leaving, because it's a very large 8th grade class that left, and we're thinking about that incoming TK and kinder, and where would that leave us? So the fact that we're only about 50 shy of that number is actually great, because our enrollment is really close to where it was when we left in June. So over the summer, we enrolled 68 students during the summer enrollment period. And so that's about 20 higher than we did last summer. As far as inter-district transfer requests, we had over 200. We did approve about 80 of those, which are on the back of this sheet that I gave you, just to give you some context. Most of those that we did approve were for siblings and employees of our school district. And since school offices opened on Monday, we have enrolled about 39 students, exactly 39 students that our secretaries have been able to get into areas so far. So that's probably a higher number. They've been working diligently, greeting the public, talking with families, so it's really hard to get the whole enrollment process. So I'm sure that number is higher. Our enrollment is tight. So if you look at the bottom of that first page, it shows the actual percentages, which I know that you like to see the percentage available. And so you'll see that the amount of space that we have, we added a TK just this last week to Marsh Creek. Thank you, Marsh Creek team. Because we had such a small amount of space available, so now we have some more space there, but before that, we were below 1%. So we added that extra TK. But the number in 6th grade right now is below 1%. So we're going to be monitoring that very closely. The number in there, it says we have 3 students. We have the space for 3 students, but if we look at the other side of this to show how many inter-district transfers we've already approved, we actually only have space for 1 kiddo right now. So it's very tight, and we know that. But we also look at our historical data and see how we look at throughout the school year and how much space that we have and how many kids enter and how many kids leave. And we historically just try to monitor that and make sure that would be a good choice to add another 6th grade. So that's what we're doing right now. We're monitoring it every day to make sure that if we added another classroom, it would be in our best interest for our school district, with everything being very cautious right now. So that is the enrollment at this time. And when you look at this page right here, when you see that the total number is 9839, then you add the inter-district transfers, the inter-district numbers that we are adding, and then you add the preschool numbers, and that's where you get the number that I have here, which is the 9,975. So that's how that all adds up. And I wanted just to note to also affirm that our preschool, we do not get the ADA for our preschool students. You're welcome, Diane. Any questions on our enrollment right now?
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much.
All right, next, 10.3, approval of provisional intern permits.
Yeah, we come to you every year at this time with what we call a PIP, provisional intern permit. The following two teachers are in that, we have applied for a provisional intern permit as part of the process to get board approval for that. That's Aisha Gatewood and Bryce Lopez, both middle school teachers that are in the process of getting their credentials.
I move that we approve item 10.3, approval of provisional intern permits.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next, any board member comments, future agenda items?
I make a motion, we close the board meeting.
Wow.
I'll say it.
All in favor, say aye. Next regular board meeting will be held on August 14th, 2024.
Let the record of the members know. Robert, are we all?
Might be all right.
That's not